What up, y'all, and welcome back. Today we'll be talking about Mr. Clay Edwards. Clay Edwards has been on my radar for a good little minute now. I wrote him off as a right-wing internet troll. You know, he's from the Jackson area, but moved out of Jackson, and ever since he's moved out, he's been talking crap about black culture, culture riot, deaf culture, all that stuff, especially if there's like anything crazy going on in Jackson that's a blackface tied to it. Clay Edwards is going to put it all across his social media. He does not miss an opportunity to talk about anything negative when it comes to black people in Jackson. And I'm getting to a point where I'm going to start responding to some of the things that he says on the video platform. Like I said before, this is a video made by the Urban City Podcast, and Mr. Clay is in this video, and he's pretty much speaking on the Wood Street situation. The only reason I'm pulling this up here is because I want to speak on a few things he said in this small little interview slash debate situation here. And I want to just kind of push back and make sure that, you know, a lot of people are not mistaken by some of the things that he said in this video. So let's get into it.
Yes, because I think it is no different than the Confederate flag on the Mississippi state flag, which I was far changing, by the way. I don't think it's any different than the Confederate flag. You know, a bunch of racists, whether intended or not, racism and racists hijacked the Confederate flag. They made it their sign of hate. I've always agreed with that's what happened. And what's any different than that, than a bunch of drug dealers, gangs, dope boys, whatever, hijacking a street, naming their gang after it, and all the whatnot.
This guy is really trying to compare the Confederate flag to a street gang. I don't know anything about the Wood Street situation, but I know they're not comparable to the Confederate Army. Like, this is not a real comparison. I don't know why he's reaching this hard, but yeah, it's weird.
Clay.
And then those same people get mad when they want to change the name. Like, it's time for a fresh coat of paint on Wood Street.
But you talking about past. You talking about past. When was the last time you went down Wood Street?
I am for changing things. You know, if one thing is racist and bad and represents this to a group, I mean, why wouldn't Wood Street represent death and mayhem and whatnot to the same group of people?
Okay. Here's my question. Do you think Batman sold drugs in the past? Or still does?
No, I don't think he still does.
Do you think he sold drugs in the past?
Well, didn't he go to jail for it?
I don't think he went to jail for selling drugs. He said that. He said that the other day on the thing. Did you ever buy any from him?
No, I bought my share of drugs. I mean, I'm gonna be the first to tell you. I mean, I'm 13, 14 years sober, but I bought my share of my drug sober. I still enjoy it good.
Isn't that interesting is that one of the biggest clowns that ended up talking the most crap about the culture that he used to indulge in. So you're sitting here admitting that you used to indulge in the brain rot culture that you're talking crap about. I did speak to Mr. Clay on his radio show. Yeah, I did speak to Clay Edwards on his radio show one time. And I did kind of pry at him, like, are you really looking for solutions, or are you just coming on this internet to just clown and be a troll for black people? Like, are you just hanging out just outside the Jackson area and just talking crap about your neighbors over there and not really looking for solutions and not really talking about solutions? You're not really interested in that stuff. You're just rage baiting black folks into getting clicks.
A drink, you know, there's two different things there. But yeah, I don't know. If he was distributing drugs in my heyday, I probably indirectly or maybe directly got some drugs from him. I don't know.
Okay.
But I want you to pretend that I'm above having been.
The stuff that you talk about,
but you
on
do
your platform. If you were in Georgetown on Wood Street by yourself, do you think that you could say the same thing that you say behind the mic?
No.
Why? I mean, why the not? I'm sorry, I said that.
Why would you go down there? I mean, my point is, it's a very dangerous place with people that have a low impulse control. Hell, I've gotten 2 messages.
If you want to talk about people with low impulse control, Caucasians have had a very long history of low impulse control across generations. We can pull up that information now. Like the easy Google search. Like for this guy to be calling black culture brain rot and culture rot and deaf culture and stuff like this, and just allude that to anything black or anything in Jackson, he's connecting these two things and making them the same. These things are the same to him, apparently, which is weird. Like, for you to say that you used to be around these people all the time and you used to do business around these people all the time, for you to not even recognize that these people are still human beings and can be saved and brought up out that situation given the right circumstances. How do you not make that connection?
Today from people threatening to kill me if I come down to Wood Street. So, I mean, proving my point for me. It's like I'm sitting here saying, you know, why is the culture so apt to violence and death culture, as I call it? But then but then to prove me wrong, you say, come down here and around and find out. You know, I'm like,
if you talk crap to any redneck or trailer park hillbilly out here in the Mississippi backwoods, they will react the same way. It's not a culture thing. It's a conflict resolution issue. It's more of a education issue. You get what I'm saying? It's more of a, like, it's not a racial issue. And I get tired of this guy trying to make this racial. Like, I've been out there to them trailer parks. I've been out there, you know, to some of them places where ain't no but white people walking bare feet in dirt roads and stuff like that. And you push them the wrong way, they're very direct to violence too. Like, let's be honest here.
I'm gonna bring Batman in, bring him to the stage. There he is. What's up with you, Batman?
Hey, what's up with it, man?
what's on?
What's going on?
Got Gerald Jabot, Clay Edwards, and Batman all in one place. What's happening?
Hey, you already know, man. As long as you're in the land of the living, it can't be nothing better.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
I like it.
So, Batman, how you doing? Okay, we got all three of us in here. All right. Clay Edwards, you said some things about Batman. Batman, you said some things about Clay Edwards. I'm going to let you start first, Clay, and then I want to know, since we got Batman right here, you just said that you wouldn't go down to Wood Street and say whatever, but you got him right here right now. What would you like to say to Batman? Like, what is your quarrel with Batman and the street name change and all that stuff?
I don't have a quarrel with Batman per se, but you're on there arguing with Stokes to the point of trying to fight him at the city council meeting. Like, we're trying to fight. Well, how old is Batman? I mean, not Batman. How old is Stokes? 70 years old, and we're fighting about the name of a street. I mean,
In this wordplay, it's a battle. So,
well, that's the same thing I'm doing. Is that's what we're going to say? I mean, I want to say this before we get started here. I am honored that Batman even knows who the hell I am. I grew up seeing Batman on the billboards. So you are a bit of a living legend of sorts. So kudos to that for making it through.
okay, but Batman, what do you have to say to this?
Well, I'll say to this right here that a response, sometimes our action deserve a reaction. And every reaction get that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you have people that make remarks about situations that they really don't know about, like such as Clay right now, he's talking about, I was trying to fight it. But if Clay went and watched the whole thing, he would see I never moved. I stayed in my position. And I said what I said, and I meant what I said. I'm unapologetic about what I said. But when it comes to other people coming in our community, talking about our community, and trying to compare us as a gang, and only followed that through information that he found that other people produced when they were trying to take me and trying to make my rap group a gang. And I got found not guilty in that situation. So I don't have to go back through that process of telling everybody this. But at the same time, when you have people making statements that don't have no information about what they're saying, like when he said about fight, see, that's a lie. Clay, you a lie. You sitting up here and you'll spread it. You won't go and look for the truth and spread the truth. You'd rather spread a lie because that makes it better for whatever you want to, agenda that you want to press or push in front of everybody. Like,
That's facts. I mean, the man speaking facts. Like, that's what Clay is all about. He's going to jump onto that headline. He's going to run with whatever he thinks is the most controversial, whatever is the most divisive. He's going to run with it and post it and just do whatever he can to push it out there to his audience that he has, regardless of if it's right, wrong, or any of that mess. He doesn't care about truth. He cares about clicks. That's the person Clay Edwards is. He doesn't really care about the facts. He doesn't really care about helping people or helping Jackson get better. If he did, he'll be speaking a lot different. I guarantee that.
You will compare a Confederate flag. I couldn't believe you said that. Out of all the you say some like that.
I can't believe
A Confederate flag. You gonna say a Confederate flag like you not racist. Like you not the joker that's sitting there throwing hands and saying everything you want to say about a black neighborhood that you don't know nothing about. I'm talking to you personally because if I did get that wrong, but you know you had business in Jackson. You definitely had business in Jackson. Did they? Am I right or wrong?
Yes, I had business in Jackson.
You goddamn right, I'm right. And you live off the back dollar. So why would you be calling over here and you live where? In Rankin County. If you live in Rankin County, I think you should be mad in Rankin County when you got cops over there with billboards.
Penny that's earned in the black community ain't from the black. Every penny that's earned in Jackson ain't earned from the black community. That's the arrogance of the black community.
That ain't the arrogance of the black.
Arrogance of the. Wait a second. Ain't Jackson down there like 90% black at this point? Like, no, like majority of the tax dollars that circulate around Jackson are black dollars. You can't refute that. Like, the population of Jackson is majority black. Like, how? That's white arrogance.
Yeah, see, that's your racist part coming at you.
It's not the arrogance of the black community. Jackson is 85%, if not more, black. And now, okay, if you're gonna say that, Clay, hold on, Batman. If you're gonna say that, you saying now, then why the hell did the white people? Why did white people fight? Why did white people leave? Why did white people leave?
That is actually a good question. Why did white people leave? I wonder if he's going to give an honest answer here.
Because Democrat death culture took over and forced them on.
Democrats hadn't even taken over and white people was already leaving. White people was leaving because of desegregation, my guy. You know this. Like, he actually knows this. He knows why white people left. He's just not he's gonna throw Democrats out there, knowing darn well that the only thing Democrats had to do with this situation was desegregation. Desegregation caused white flight in Jackson. That's what initiated that whole situation. Once black people started coming in, white people came out. Once white people left out, they took the revenue, they took the tax dollars, they took the investment, the government stopped investing in Jackson. This is all verified history. Like, you can't pretend that this doesn't exist. You get what I'm saying? Like, and this guy that's supposedly a Jacksonian from Jackson supposedly knows what he knows about Jackson, but doesn't know this much. He just says it was the Democrat death culture.
You just said the wrong thing.
It's urban flight, not white flight. Urban flight. Black people left out.
No, white people did leave. And it was because of desegregation. Like, that's easy to admit. You can't sit here and say the Confederate flag was racist and racists co-opted the Confederate flag and I hate racists and I don't deal with that, but refuse to admit that racists left Jackson because black people were coming in. If you don't admit these things, then you're willfully being dishonest.
Y'all call that movement, I call it racist.
No. You know why white people left the city of Jackson. You know why.
He knows exactly why.
Who stole money from Hines County to develop Madison and Rankin County?
I don't know who.
Okay.
Wait, which situation are you talking about?
Okay.
I think he knows what he's talking about. And I think I know what he's talking about too. As far as stealing, I think he's talking about the situation where the Mississippi government avoided sending dollars to the city of Jackson once the city started gaining a bunch of black folks, especially after desegregation. Mississippi politicians at that time made a decision to avoid sending any funding to the city of Jackson. He knows that this is the case. This is why Jackson is in a situation that it's in now. That's why it's hard to repair anything in Jackson. That's why new things don't really get built in Jackson anymore without having to jump through 50 different hoops. Like, let's be real. Like, it's easy to see that Mississippi, the government of Mississippi, the state of Mississippi and its treasury is not going to the Jackson metro area. They're investing everywhere else but Jackson.
Okay, I'm just asking a question because you can't say that. Why did white people leave Jackson? Wait, why did white people leave Jackson?
Crime, schools, infrastructure. What do you think?
crime, schools, and infrastructure. I would have to push him a little bit more on that. Like, what you mean infrastructure? Like, when white people started to leave, this was back in the 60s. Black crime rate wasn't that high back then.
Why do you think they left?
I don't think that was the reason.
You think just because, let me guess, you just think just because black people moved in, the white people said, I'm out. It had nothing to do with the
white.
Yep, you were struggling. Yes, white people left just because black people came in. This was immediately after desegregation. This is why we have private schools. This is why we have suburbs. This is well known. This is documented. You should know this.
All my life, I've gone to school with black people in the city of Jackson. So minus me going to Bailey Alternative back in the day when it was called Bailey Alternative, that's the only time I went to school with different kinds of people. There were Middle Eastern people there. There were white people there. There were even Asian people there. I remember that going to Bailey back in the day. So I'm just trying to understand how you think that it was black rock culture, and give me a definition.
I said Democrat death culture was my example.
Okay, Democrat death culture. You think because there were,
but he uses that same language when he refers to black culture also. Don't let him trick you, because he's being as slippery as a snake dipped in oil, like dead ass. Like, he is being very slippery right here, because he uses that same type of language when he refers to black people and our culture, especially when it comes to Jackson.
Were a number of Democrats, a lot of Democrats in the city of Jackson that white people left. Is that what you're saying?
It ain't just Jackson. It's Democrat mentality throughout the country. It is praise the criminal, punish the good citizen, and we see it constantly. It's this sympathetic empathy.
So desegregation was punishing the good citizen. That's why white people left.
I call it suicidal empathy for criminals.
So we don't call the people. What do you call the people that stormed the Capitol? Were they Democrats?
Oh, a lot of them were. As a matter of fact, they were funded by the Southern Poverty Law Center, just like they were funding the Ku Klux Klan.
And that is a pure lie. I just did a video on this whole situation. The Southern Poverty Law Center is not funding the Ku Klux Klan. If you know anything about the Southern Poverty Law Center, they do pay informants to gather information on some of these extremist groups, and that's exactly what they did when it came to the KKK and other groups. And that's what the indictment is pretty much about. It's a fake indictment. It's not going to go anywhere. This DOJ throws out indictments like it's candy at this point, and it's purely political theater. That's all it is. That's what happened with, James Comey the first time. That first indictment just disappeared all of a sudden, didn't it? Now they just came up with a second indictment, and this is pretty much not going to go anywhere either. It's just to announce that, hey, we're indicting these people, and it's going to disappear, but that news of the indictment is still going to stick around in the news cycle. That information that he's using right now, he's still going to use that, even though one day this SPLC indictment is going to disappear. It's going to fall through the floor. I guarantee it. But he's still going to say the mess that he's saying. The SPLC is not funding no extremist group. They're not funding the KKK. January 6th happened because of MAGA and Trump. He incited that situation. Stop making excuses for a grown-ass man and own up to it. The Republican Party used to have a spine, but it seems like it's nothing but a bunch of babies making excuses for a bigger baby. But I digress.
I'll speak on that.
Who initially did Trump tell to stand by?
Diverting from Jackson, the so-called insurrection. That was the weakest insurrection.
It was a planned insurrection. Trump got fake electors. He gathered fake electors and sent them to Washington for approval. And these fake electors was an attempt for him to steal the election. You don't do that unless you're actually trying to steal an election. He knew those electors were fake. He knew that the electors that Biden actually won were the actual electors. There's still no proof that Trump won the 2020 election. He still can't provide that. You know why? Because he didn't. But he told all them people on January 6th that he won. He gathered all them people there on January 6th. And he said that if they don't fight, they're going to lose their country. He cheered them on when they said, hang Mike Pence. But even today, we're talking about violent rhetoric. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. But he will constantly defend Trump. He will make excuses for anybody on the Republican side. But let a black person make a mistake, he's going to post that all over his page and be as critical as possible, but won't levy any of that criticism towards the other side of the spectrum. This is my problem with people like this guy.
But
This is what I'm talking about. Clay is not a serious person, like at all. Like I don't understand why he has the audience he has. I don't understand why there's certain people that follow this guy around and constantly platform this guy and put him up on a pedestal. I know there's certain business owners that sponsor this guy. This guy is the worst of the worst when it comes to like commentary or any type of political commentary. Like, don't trust anything political that this guy says because he hasn't looked into any of this mess. When he's talking about empathy, and empathy is weak when it comes to crime and stuff like that, but he completely ignores the fact that Baltimore found solutions by investing in some of the more impoverished communities in Baltimore. They found solutions to their crime over there by empathetic solutions, by investing in like STEM centers, by investing in things for the kids to do. Simple. But he won't pay attention to situations like that because he's not interested in solutions. He's the worst of the worst. He will have a microphone and speak on the ills without cures. I don't even understand how this man calls himself a Christian. Yeah, I'm finna go on ahead and wrap this video up. I just wanted to reply to a couple things that Clay said in this video. I think they continue talking about the Wood Street sign a little bit here and there. I'm gonna keep an eye on some of the things that he kind of puts out there and some of the more viral things that he puts out there, so I can kind of get a check on it and kind of just respond to it in a more factual manner, because he's not coming with facts. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and please give Mr. Gerard of Urban City Podcast a follow, and hope to see y'all next time. Y'all have a good one.